She's been coming into branches for the last few weeks taking money. Yesterday, we got a call from back office. She's not who she says she is. They've already blocked the account.
On April 6th, 2023, this body cam captures a fraud arrest at a Citibank branch.
Is he in there?
How are you?
Is my partner in there?
He's with the girl.
Okay.
So I just want to give you a little bit of a history without her hearing me.
Okay.
She's been coming into branches for the last few weeks taking money. Yesterday, we got a call from back office. She's not who she says she is. They've already blocked the account. We've confirmed with the client that this is not her.
Okay.
She's taken a lot of money from these people. She has an ID.
Ma'am, can I speak to you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I guess what's going on with your account?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
All right. Do you have your ID with you?
She has it.
She has it?
Yes.
All right. What's your name? Grace?
Yeah, she has all my information.
Okay. Here, let's go over to the counter.
I was going to use the restroom.
Well, give it a second, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Here, let's just go up to the counter here. All right. Could you see that we get her ID? I guess there's some confusion about who you are and what your accounts are.
There should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we go outside?
No.
Oh.
Here, have a seat right here for me. Here, have a seat. Here, have a seat. All right. Now, who gave you this check?
It's right here.
Okay. And what did they give you the check for?
I'm a lawyer, so.
Okay. All right. So it's for services?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you live in Coral Gables right now?
Yes, I have an Airbnb that I'm doing in Biscaya,
Okay.
so.
All right. So what does La Raza Enterprises do?
It's one of the my clients.
Okay. With like what kind of work do you what business are they in?
I'm not sure. It's my client. He wrote the check.
Okay. You say he's your client, but you don't know what business he's in?
No, I'm sorry.
So far down.
Is it a person or an actual business?
No, it's a person.
Okay.
It already moved on the roadway, so everything is worth putting down.
Oh, it's there.
Hello.
Hey, sit with her for a second.
Come here and get a translator.
Hey,
Yeah.
I need to know what's going on.
I just told your partner. So she's been coming into 2 branches the last few weeks withdrawing money. We got an email from back office yesterday that this is not the client.
So this company, they said did not issue
This
her the check.
actual person does not, this is not her.
That's not her.
We got emails yesterday from back office that person has not came into a branch at all.
Right.
She lives in Coral Gables. That's where she does all her banking. She
Right.
does not come to Delray.
So she's not,
That's correct.
and we don't know who she is.
That's correct. I have a client who needs a translator in the lobby. I'm not sure what she needs. She's sitting down. Stay with her.
She came in yesterday, and immediately after I did the transaction, we received emails from the representative for the client, because they're actually kind of a high-level client.
Right.
And
This
immediately,
La Raza Enterprises?
no, it's the exact same name as her. And there's also another signer on the account,
Right.
so it's the 2 of them. Has nothing to do with any business, at least on their personal accounts, but
Right.
that's where she's transacting, is
Okay.
the personal account. The account number is
So
on
we're
the
saying
back.
this is a fake ID?
It's got to be, because that's not her. That is the address of the client, but that's not her. And she's also gone to the Boynton branch, and we looked at their transactions. They never come up here. They're like Coral Gables.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they confirmed that she is not the client.
She is not the client, but
She is
and
not.
Almost every legal question in it turns on procedure, with three doctrines doing most of the work. Probable cause for a warrantless arrest, custody for Miranda purposes, and the bright line that follows an invocation of counsel. Start with probable cause, the Fourth Amendment standard governing every warrantless arrest. The Supreme Court, in Beck versus Ohio, decided in 1964, defined the standard as facts and circumstances within the officer's knowledge sufficient to warrant a reasonable belief that an offense has been committed. That framework was refined in Illinois versus Gates, decided in 1983, which adopted a totality of the circumstances analysis. Probable cause is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It is a fair probability, no more. On this footage, the officer has three independent inputs that clear that threshold comfortably: a back-office fraud confirmation from the bank, a real-time interview with the actual account holder, and the suspect's own contradictory statements. Next, the question of custody. Miranda warnings are required only when a suspect is in custody and being interrogated, and custody is defined under Berkemer versus McCarty, decided in 1984, by asking whether a reasonable person in the suspect's position would feel free to leave. Everything before the formal Miranda recitation in this video, the questions about the check, the supposed client, the company name, occurs in a public bank lobby with no restraint and no formal accusation. That phase is non-custodial, which means every statement she makes during it is voluntary and admissible. And this is where her case is materially damaged before any rights attach.
And there is a client named?
She is not her. Okay. She is not her.
Oh, okay. I'm still confused. So how do they know that who she is?
They looked at their banking, their online banking, and saw transactions that were not authorized by the client. So they contacted
the client
us.
being?
No, the client is, I don't know where this check came from.
Okay.
She's depositing it. Yesterday she deposited a check and made a withdrawal.
Right.
And so they saw on their online banking that, they did not do the clients.
Right.
Did not do the transactions.
Okay.
So they verified it's confirmed fraud. She is committing fraud. This
Right.
woman that's
And she's
here.
trying to deposit this?
Trying to deposit. Yesterday she took cash back,
Okay.
but that is not her.
Okay.
They confirmed it last night. We've been emailing back and forth since like almost immediately after the transaction.
What brought you up here?
I have an Airbnb that I'm working on in Biscaya.
Oh, nice. Biscaya? It's far from here, isn't it?
Oh, so you're on Breast Atlanta.
Oh, that Biscaya. I was thinking Dayton, Biscaya. What do you drive? Ma'am? Ma'am?
A Cadillac.
Okay. What color is it?
White.
Let me just check this in the car on the computer. I'll be right back.
She drives a white Cadillac, she said.
All right. Cadillac out here. Yeah.
So I'm on the phone. This client is right now in a police station in Miami right now.
This,
The actual lady is in a police station right
this
now in
Grace
Miami.
Escalona?
Correct.
yeah, well, this is the actual woman.
Yeah, that's
Similar, but not, but not.
definitely not.
I think I forgot to advise them how
Can I speak to them because I have them on the phone, or does that not matter?
No, it'll be good to speak to them.
let me tell them.
They're in the police department?
She's in a police department
Right.
in Miami.
Have her speak to an officer to get a sworn statement.
Sworn statement.
Yeah, a sworn statement, if possible on video, if not, paper is good.
Perfect.
Okay? Alright, I think we figured this out. Alright, I'm required to warn you before you make any statements that you have the following constitutional rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions, do you understand? You have the right to remain, any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statements and during any questioning. You understand? Okay. All right. Now you said you're a lawyer, so I guess all those rights you understand. All right. I guess the big question is, well, I have your driver's license in hand. What's your real name?
That is I'll speak to my attorney.
All right. You can do that.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to place you under arrest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you could just step down.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I'll turn it for you. That's all I was doing. I'm trying to be resist
I'm just trying to make it comfortable for you.
Yeah.
If you do it like you're praying, it's more comfortable.
Let's grab this one. I should put these things down first.
Then comes the invocation, and this is the central moment of the encounter. Under Miranda versus Arizona, decided in 1966, a clear request for counsel must end interrogation. Edwards versus Arizona, decided in 1981, sharpens that into a bright-line rule under which police may not reinitiate questioning, with questioning resuming only if counsel is made available, or if the suspect herself reopens the conversation. The invocation itself must be unambiguous, a standard set in Davis versus United States, decided in 1994. Her statement, "I'll speak to my attorney," is unambiguous and meets that standard cleanly, while the officer's response, "All right, you can do that, thank you," is the textbook answer. A second officer later attempts a brief re-engagement. She invokes again, and that officer also stops, which is institutional discipline, and forecloses any future motion to suppress. On substantive charges, the framework is straightforward. Florida Statute 817.568 criminalizes the fraudulent use of another person's identifying information, and the value-based enhancement at $50,000 elevates the offense to a first-degree felony with a 5-year mandatory minimum. Florida Statute 812.014, the Grand Theft Statute, treats theft of $20,000 or more, but less than $100,000, as a second-degree felony. Two additional state statutes apply: 831.02, uttering a forged instrument, and 832.05, the worthless check statute, and each charge is separately provable on the evidence the bank manager describes on camera. At the federal level, two provisions matter most. Title 18, United States Code, Section 1344, the bank fraud statute, with a 30-year exposure, and Section 1028A, aggravated identity theft, which carries a mandatory consecutive 2-year sentence whenever identity theft is committed in connection with an enumerated felony, including bank fraud. Grades reflect the procedural and tactical record on camera. The arresting officer earns an A- for clean probable cause, full Miranda recitation, and faultless handling of the invocation. The bank manager earns an A for disciplined witness coordination and real-time verification of the fraud. The subject earns a C because the post-Miranda invocation was correct, but the pre-Miranda statements made during the non-custodial phase are admissible and damaging. The department earns a B+ for consistent multi-officer compliance with Edwards. 3 lessons emerge from this footage. First, the line between non-custodial and custodial questioning is decisive. Everything said before formal arrest is generally admissible, and most defendants give away their case in that window. Second, an invocation of counsel must be unambiguous, since phrases like, "maybe I should talk to a lawyer," do not trigger the bright line rule. Third, professional witness coordination, separating the officer from the suspect before briefing, often determines whether probable cause is built cleanly or contaminated.
All right, I'm placing you under arrest for fraud.
Okay.
All right, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna collect some information. You wanna hang with her for a second while I get some of the supporting stuff? I guess you were here yesterday, you withdrew some money? Okay.
I'm just gonna talk to my attorney.
All right, sounds good. Sworn statement from her. Citibank said I have to subpoena everything. She would give me a sworn statement, video, copies of the documents. The only thing I got is the check today. And I spoke to the actual victim who said she doesn't know who this woman is, she doesn't know how she got her information, and she doesn't even know who this company is.
Okay.
But she was trying to deposit, and basically yesterday she deposited, yesterday she deposited a $5,800 check from some company called Axio, and she withdrew $4,000 immediately after. So she stole $4,000, and today she was going to attempt to deposit that. We don't know how much she was going to withdraw.
Okay.
Okay?
Did you read Miranda?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He said he read you Miranda already. Do you understand all that? Okay. Would you like to speak with me for a few minutes?
No, I just want to talk to my attorney.
Okay. And you said you did get her real name and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our channel for even more police interaction and courtroom content.